Hey, thank you so much for tuning in yet again. We've been having great conversation with Mr. Andrew Mura, an advocate of the High Court who specializes in conveyancing, arbitration, and commercial law. You guys should have memorized that by now. I've said it like a million times. But I'm really happy about just having these conversations about what the law has to say about all manner of issues around land investment. So in this episode, we'll be picking up on an interview that we had with a county executive committee member for Kajiado County, lands, urban planning and physical planning and urban development, Honorable Hamilton Parseina. And we're gonna get Mr. Mura's take on the legal aspects surrounding what the county wants to do or is thinking of doing. You're watching On Land in Kenya. I am Solomon Wango. Kajiado is the size of Rwanda. I don't think the county government has a budget to compulsorily acquire.
And I know a lot of these units that are like this are in the agricultural zones.
Yes, for good reason, because it's affordable. It's easy to buy large chunks to work with as far as subdivision is concerned. And then also cheaper to sell, because one of the reasons they have sold so well over the last several years is because of the affordability for the common citizen who just wants to do their part to invest for their future, grow their savings and grow capital in a passive way. So without a doubt, this is a problem with agricultural land.
Yes.
I mean, what you're saying is that's a enormous exercise, right? So challenging the county, and I suppose that's why you're here. It's a legal question. So this is my personal take on it. I think for far too long, those of us in the industry have taken advantage of the market's ignorance about the due process to make profits. And while I have nothing against profit making, that's part of life. In fact, if there is no profit, it's not worth considering.
Correct.
But I think the chickens are coming home to roost, because some of these policies have pre-existed for a while. The issue of fragmenting agricultural freehold land into smaller sizes, there have always been policies around how to do that in a sustainable manner, paying due respect to the usage of the land, to make sure that the actual title deed produced is beyond reproach. And now that we have a county government in Kajiado that is serious about correcting a lot of the nonsense that's been going on, and I'll be blunt about it, people have been conned. We take advantage of the trust that the market has in our ability to produce sound ownership documents, and we buy without doing proper due diligence. Also because we don't know what the due process is supposed to be. And this is part of the reason we started this YouTube channel, On Land in Kenya, just to let you know what the due process is supposed to be, so that you can do your part as an investor. And this is something the county executive member said, that, because I did ask him, what would you have to say to all those individuals who purchased 50 by 100s or 100 by 100s as freehold titled agricultural land? And he said the farthest we can go is feel sorry for them. For someone like myself, maybe there's lots of them, many even in the diaspora, who bought these properties. What would you say to them? What's their recourse? for someone advertised a 50 by 100, and I paid. It was 150k, 350k, 250,000 shillings with installment plans even, or whatever the case may be. Some are in the millions, and I bought a title. What would you say?
We feel sorry for them. But that is the farther that we can go. Yeah. At the end of the day, the investor blames himself or herself. Yeah. Because, as I said, they also need to do due diligence. It's not just enough to dish out your money. It's also good that you also do your due diligence. Get to visit the area. Yeah. Do a search, and not just going to the registry and doing the official search. Yeah, because I told you some of these offices were turned into I don't know what.
Money collection. Yes.
So, but we are cleaning them. Yes. Both the county government and the national government.
I'm really glad to hear that. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's rough.
Yes, and I would agree, because from a governmental perspective, it's not their fault that people got conned. A lot of corruption has oiled this machinery to dupe people into buying illegally sized parcels of freehold agricultural land. I just want to be clear on that, guys. I'm not saying that everything that's 50 by 100 or an eighth of an acre or a quarter of an acre is illegal. No. What I'm saying is, if it is freehold agricultural land, it is most likely an illegal subdivision. That is a county's position. That has always been the policy at the Department of Survey and Planning Department, which is why we at Goshen Acquisitions painfully have never been able to sell 50 by 100 freehold land, because that's what we like to do, is deal with freehold property, because it has been impossible for us to do so legally and ethically. And so my view on the issue is that, unfortunately, a lot of people are going to get burnt, left out in the cold. What their legal recourse is, I don't know. You guys, advocates of the High Court, will have to give guidance, because it's a serious issue.
It is.
And we're talking about one county. What happens when Laikipia County decides to deal with the same issue? Nakuru County. I mean, it's going to be bananas. And so I'm worried for the investors, and what it means for the investor pool in general. But at the end of the day, I think it's a good thing for the country. These policies should have been enforced from the get-go, and maybe you could blame the county government for not being proactive before. Unfortunately, there's also the distinction between former county governments and present county governments. Who is going to be held responsible for permissions that the county issued before? The present county government was not in power until last September.
Well, but truth be told, they take over the ills and the benefits of the previous counties,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
So they might want to hide behind the, it was not us who gave that permit at the time. But the truth is, they're still responsible for the actions of the previous county. So they have to find a solution.
Okay.
On this one, I happen to side with the common citizen.
With the common. So there you have it, guys. Common citizens, you and me. What do we feel about this issue? The National Land Commission, stood side by side with the governor of Kajiado County, His Excellency Olelenku,
correct,
and said that they themselves would launch investigations and inquiries into these illegal subdivisions. As you know, the National Land Commission has a constitutional mandate to take independent action.
Correct.
Independent of the Ministry of Lands, independent of the county government, to revoke title deeds. I mean, every week there's a gazetted list of revoked titles by the National Land Commission. That is worrisome for me. So how all these stakeholders will act together to address past wrongs and ensure that the future is made safe and secure for investors, I really don't know. But we wait to see. If you have comments about this, please let us know. If you happen to be one of those that purchased a 50 by 100, 100 by 100, or any size of land that's freehold agricultural that the new Kajiado County government now says should not have been produced, we'd love to hear from you. And then we can see what the common Mwananchi wants to do. Because Mr. Mura here says he sides with you. You're watching All Land in Kenya. I'm Solomon Wangwe. Stay tuned for more information